Now we are going to see give the decimal for shaded part. Give the decimal for shaded part. This is the exercise. Already we have seen all the examples. Now we are going to start the exercise. Let's start the problem. This is one box, this is another box. So first one is a whole number. So next I segregate into 10 divisions or 10 parts. So this is the decimal part, otherwise we can call it as decimal number. So give the decimal for shaded parts. So what are you going to do? So this is 1, this is a whole part. So you have to add with what? Decimal part. So answer is 1 point. How many decimal parts is shaded? 1, 2, 3. So 1.3. So 1 is a whole number, this is a decimal point, and 3 is a what? It's a decimal part. After the point we can call it as 3/10. So how we are going to write? That is 1 point. You have to write like this: 1.3. This is the way you have to write the word. Write in the word form. 1.3. 1 is a whole number. 1 is a whole number. And this is a decimal point. This is a decimal point. And that is 3. This is what? This is 3/10. I have told you already, after the point we must use tens. First digit is the first digit. After the point, the first digit comes. How we are going to read this number? This number is tens. So 3/10. That is what I have written, 3/10. I'll repeat once again. This is one box. This is another box. So I have drawn two boxes here. So one is a whole number. It is completely shaded. So I don't want to show it of you. So next one is decimal part. I segregate to 10 parts. So decimal part, otherwise we can call it as a decimal number. This is a one whole number. This is one box. That is what I've written, 1. So it is a whole number. So how we are going to write this? How we are going to write this diagram as a decimal? What? Decimal. How we are going to write this diagram as decimal? But especially we have to mention this shaded part. So how many parts I've shaded? Because first is a whole diagram. It is a box. It is a whole diagram. After that, the same diagram I've drawn, but I segregate into 10 parts. But I've shaded only 3 parts in black in color. So we are going to write this we are going to write it as a decimal decimal form. We have to write it as a decimal form. The answer is 1.3. So 1.3 as a written form. Is a written form. Written form, as well as how you are going to read. So you can read it as 1.3, and written form is 1.3. So 1 is a whole number and point is a decimal point. 3 means 3/10. After the point we must the first digit comes. How could you read this digit? It is called as a 3/10. After the next one is this is a sum and this is a b sum. This is one diagram, this is one diagram. This 2 squares are drawn. This is a whole number. So 1 square and 2 square, we have to write 2 squares. That means 2 is a whole number. After that, the same square, but I segregate into 10 parts, but I shaded only 3 parts in red in color. So what is the answer for this? How could you write this diagram as a decimal form? 2.3. So 1 plus 1, 2. 2 is a whole number. Then after that, the third diagram I segregate into 10 parts, a 10 region. Then after that I shaded 3 parts. That is what? 2.3. This is the decimal number. Decimal number is a 3/10. Okay. Here also 3/10. The decimal form is 3/10. Okay, here also 3/10. So the answer is 2.3 as a decimal form. So how we are going to write? 2.3, you can read as, and also this is also a written form. And we are going to write, this is what? 2 is a whole number. 2 is a whole number. Okay, 2 is a whole number. 2 is a whole number, and point we can call it as a decimal point. Decimal point. And 3 after the point, the first digit, how could you read? 3/10. Suppose this number is 4 means 4/10. Suppose the number is 5 means 5/10 you have to read. Okay, this is the exact decimal form. Okay ma.